Welcome, Dune enjoyers. We got the perfect farm method for you. Unlimited resources right at the tip of your finger. And not only that, also the best buggy uniques that will make your buggy faster and gather more resources than ever before. Step 1. Pull out your welding torch and disassemble your buggy. Pull everything into your inventory. This takes you around 30 seconds. Make sure that you have a medium fuel cell equipped because your buggy will have 0 fuel. Then jump into your Ornithopter and fly exactly to the farm spot you want to be at. I'll go over to the eastern shield wall for my aluminium. In order for this to be really worth it, we'll need to have certain upgrades for the buggy that we'll talk about in a minute. But I just want to show you the mythology first, so you understand what we're actually doing, and then I'll show you the pieces you need to make this really go bonkers. We'll land. Then you pull out your welding torch again and reassemble your buggy. And that's just a little left click spam to get everything out of there. Simple as cake. There we have our buggy. Then we need to only refuel it. Boom. And your Ornithopter, you just put in your vehicle backup tool. Now we get our buggy already in the aluminium farming spawn. And we can absolutely fill it up. And you might notice one thing here. My buggy accelerates like crazy. And not only does it accelerate like crazy, we're actually getting 200 plus aluminium per beam farm. That is because we went into the deep desert for a new Cutteray blueprint and we got ourselves a brand new engine. Since usually the buggy is very slow on the acceleration side. But when you're farming resources, you're pretty much going for acceleration, stop, farm. Acceleration, stop, farm. So if your buggy pulled slow, that feels terrible. Now you're going to say, isn't it faster to just go with the Ornithopter alone and not with the buggy? In the time we have been speaking, we've already filled the buggy hold with 1,000 aluminium. You just wouldn't do this with your Cutteray, no matter the density of nodes around and your Ornithopter. Simple as that. It's just crazy how efficient the Cutteray is on the buggy. And if I'm now done with the buggy, I'll just simply turn around and yeet the buggy off the cliff, driving back home. And before you ask, yes, the buggy can cross these distances very easy. You feel like you're too slow, but you're driving at least 60 to 70. Good thing about the buggy and the new engine is it drives very well up an incline. A bike would really heavily slow down. Right now I'm approaching this with 75. I got my 4 treads going crazy, and due to the massive acceleration that the buggy actually has, it's barely dropping in speed. It's even accelerates at the very end of the incline and just goes further. Don't be scared. You can do it. Even with the normal MK3 motor. We get the new one for you. This will be called the Bloodshot Buggy Engine MK4. And the keyword you have to look for is acceleration fast. Goes up for a speed of 70 kilometers per hour. And it only needs aluminium to be crafted. The standard MK3 buggy engine might go up to 75 speed. But with a medium acceleration, it's an absolute slogfest. I think everyone in the comments will agree to this. Now the MK4 buggy engine goes up to 80, so actually 10 speed more, but still that acceleration just stinks. And that's why we focus on this absolute beauty. For this, you'll have to travel to the top left of the map called the Udam, and we're gonna hit first up the Stone Step Village. As a heads up, you anyways want to get to this area as you're crafting MK4, MK5 stuff, because we're looking for insulated fabric for a lot of pieces. Now you're gonna fly to the tippity top of the location, right here, where the marker is, because we're going to be able to jump in from the top to get all the loot right away without having to fight our way through masses of enemies. What we're aiming for is the step. There is this canopy, you can actually land on it, and then you jump into the back room. Now we're going to be playing melee because I just really like melee, and well, it's utterly ridiculous how powerful melee actually is. Knee jump! These dudes are going to try to kill you. Cleaning house easily. No worries. We'll have a build guide for this up soon as well. We're going to fine tune this on the live stream today. And then, oh, boom. The Bloodshot Buggy engine. Yes, this chest might have the engine. There's other loot possible, but Well, there you get the engine already. And we got tons of insulated fabric as well. There are not really any other chests in this area which are worth it, so I tend to just simply jump downstairs and make my way outside of this location. Now we got the engine already, but I still want to show you the second location just in case you're not as lucky as I am. And that would be called the Mendex shithole. Top of another mountain where my marker is. On top, landing there again at the peak, because we can jump down. This time you need to look out for a bonus chest. We're exactly on top of Mendex shithole. See it here on the map. As you jump down, you see these teeth. We don't want to go all the way to the bottom yet, because here on the side is a hidden chest with a body on the ground. And that one will have more insulated fabrics, and that chest will also have more insulated fabrics. You can also take the Duneman scout boots because they'll break down into the tier 4 resources, if I'm not completely mistaken. Then we'll jump down, use the power of our melee already again to knee strike. Execute. Shigawire Claw. Execute. And there could be the buggy blueprint again. This time I get the heavy mask. Can't be lucky every time. Now you zip yourself out, wait 45 minutes, return, do that again. This leads us to the next important piece, and that would be my unique MK5 Cutteray. This has the highest yield of all the Cutterays. I'm getting 168 aluminium, plus the boost from your plantologist, leading to that 214 aluminium per. The normal MK5 only gives you 135. Still fantastic if you can't actually get yourself the focused one. Interesting though is, you don't actually need to craft the Cutteray. You don't need to craft any MK5 stuff. The only thing you would like to craft is your MK5 welding torch, because this has a 90% repair quality. The MK3 only has an 83% repair quality. This means whenever you take out this welding torch and actually repair a piece on your buggy or on your Ornithopter, it will barely, if even, decay. My Ornithopter, for example, has an MK5 generator in it that I found. It was half decayed already, but it doesn't matter because the MK5 torch repairs it half without a single piece of decay. So if you actually go where I'll show you in a second and pick up an MK5 Threats, MK5 storage, no problem. You just repair it to half and make sure to continuously maintenance it, and you'll never have an issue. Now for this MK5 stuff, we have to make our way to the deep desert, which means I'm going to fly out all the way to the north. Keep in mind here, solo deep desert in the beginning is PvE territory. Don't start yelling at me, oh my god, this is PvP, I can't do this solo. It's PvE, at least where we're flying. Don't you worry, don't stress out, you get this covered. One thing you'd want to have before doing this is at least aluminium armor. I have Dure aluminium stuff already because I went a little bit ahead, but that's only my chest and my pants. I also have the Spark Sword, which does almost 80 damage per hit. The Spark Sword you get from Missa Tarot. Inside Missa Tarot, there's a chest that to 90% has the Spark Sword. It's probably one of the best melee weapons out there. Why melee? Because it's so easy to kill all the opponents. You'll see in a second. Why do you also want to have the Dure aluminium armor or aluminium armor? Because the beginning of the deep desert enemies hurt really hard. The very cool thing about the deep desert though is that you don't only get this MK5 stuff I was talking about. You're also getting tons of unique blueprints for armor, for your vehicles, and for crafting equipment, liter johns, dew scythe, everything. You also get tons of particle capacitor, advanced servox, complex machinery, all that stuff in one location gathered and copious amounts. I went for 20 minutes into the deep desert and I came out with 200 particle capacitors. In order to get this in the Hagabazan South, the amount of farming you'd have to do is 3 times that much. So for a little flight and a little PvE fun, we're just guaranteed to get tons of loot. And there's intel points that keep replenishing. 30 intel points per little location you hit up. I'm currently sitting at another 500 intel points, and alone 120 of those have been just from the deep desert. And I can get those 120 again right now with a little farm. From the Hagabazan, you're flying to the top left corner of the map. And here we need to talk about something that is entry point matters. Stop at the fuel depot quickly to just get your fuel refilled. What I mean with entry point matters on the deep desert and Haga Basin. If I go to this, it will be A1. If I go all the way to the right, it's going to be A10 or A11. We're going to go for the middle. That should be A3. Okay, I was wrong. I landed in A5. There are now two types of locations you want to hit up. There's the Imperial testing stations, fully PvE, and then there's shipwrecks. They're tiny, but they are PvP inside the shipwreck. You take, though, 5 minutes to clear one, and if I see a person myself, I just don't even approach. Most people in the deep desert actually travel further to get some cool spice and stuff like this. Right here in the A1 and the B tier, I'm really just there to farm my Imperial testing stations. And I got 1 Imperial testing station, I got 2 Imperial testing stations, I got 3 Imperial, I got 4 Imperial testing stations from A1 to A5. And one farm of mine is hitting up all these testing stations and then return. My inventory will be bursting out of its seams. Why are we doing, though, the ships? Because the ships are way shorter than a testing station, and they still have the copious amounts of loot, the blueprints, the MK5 parts. Ships, though, mostly have weapons. Research stations have a higher chance to have these vehicle parts happening. How would one of these testing station runs look like now, and how hard are the opponents really? I have 2 pieces of MK5 armor, so Dure Aluminium. I have my Spark Sword, and actually none of the MK5 weapons is stronger than the Spark Sword. They all do less damage. Now the testing stations can be short, they can be long. This one is one of the longer ones. It has gas, but I have a Bane Jetherid passive that actually makes me immune to gas, so I'm not really suffering from this at all. And now we get our first opponents. They, like this heavy, need to get staggered, then 1 hit, 2 hits. Seems simple, right? I'll let them just shoot me for a second. You notice my shield just vanishes, right? That dude just absolutely blasted me into pieces. And they'll be utilizing drill shots in this area as well. If they manage to shoot you, if they manage to attack you, it really hurts. That's why I try to always pull them off balance, attack them, slice and dice them easy, knee charge, and I don't actually get attacked by them. What I would recommend is a combination of melee and sniper rifle. Because with sniper rifle, you can take out these unshielded dudes, and with melee, you take out anyone that's shielded easily. Now that's already Servox and also the thermoelectric coolers. And the thermoelectric coolers is needed in copious amounts to craft MK5 stuff, MK6 stuff. So you really want to go into these testing stations. And we're getting tons of these thermoelectric coolers. That is also now here a MK5 shield. Yeah, just like that. You might use it or you might just break it down. But getting an MK5 shield like this costs usually tons of Dure Aluminium. Might as well replace mine now and repair it to half durability. Here, for example, for this area, there is unshielded guy there, I could snipe him. Unshielded guy there, I could snipe him. Right? That would make my life so much easier. Now that we're approaching, I'm going to just pull him again off balance. Finished. Sword does a lot of damage. And we're going to run around. Knee strike him, and finished. That dude is trying to shoot drill shots into me, and they're the most dangerous, because that drill shot will take around 40% of your HP away right now. We're not at the end for this one. There's one final room. Sometimes these research stations are way smaller, and they have pretty much just 2 rooms and full loot. He's trying to drill shot me, but we ain't having that, so get him. Now let's check what the chest holds for us. We get new boots, the spice Dure Aluminium. This is Scout Ornithopter Thruster MK5. Boom. Can just equip this to my Ornithopter. Sadly, it wasn't a buggy part. No worries, you have a second chance on the chest on the side. This is a full suspensor belt, also not bad, and tons of resources. You kind of notice what I said about particle capacitors and advanced Servox. You get illegal amounts of them. Now I was unlucky. I didn't get a buggy MK5 part. I got an Ornithopter MK5 part. Can happen. I also got myself new stillsuit boots instead of a blueprint for my buggy as well. It's a chance. But now I have the opportunity to obviously jump back in my Ornithopter to the next testing station do the next testing station, and do the next testing station, as I can also hit up these racks. And I guess since we're here already, I can also show you one of these racks to kind of take you a bit the fear of it being PvP. As you approach the rack, you get the zone change warning, and it will say, this is PvP now. So if someone would come, he could attack you, he could fight you. Now I'll tell you, I've been so far for 6 hours in the deep desert, and I have not fought a single person. For this, I would really like to have the sniper to actually shoot these guys here. Because you know what? That would make my life tremendously easier, as they're really nicely stacking up. When you can obviously like just corner peek and finish them off, right? That's possible. But I like to jump in and just take care of them. The records just have like 5 to 6 opponents, that's it. And then they have tons of explosives on the ground. So always have an eye out for this beep, 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 beep. And then you need to find these doors that you can cut open, because that's where the loot is usually hidden behind. And then we're getting here a big chest that has weapons. You can break them down and you get tons of these microfiber. I have at this point so much of this microfiber. I have thousands. I cannot make the amount of equipment that I would have to make to kind of live up to this. It's actually crazy. Okay, there's another 12 and 4 more thermoelectric coolers. I'm really happy for getting the thermoelectric coolers. But there's also a big chest always in these. The big chest is normally hidden. So we gotta like actually search for that big chest here. Oh, drill shot. Never let these guys shoot you. They shoot you, dude, it's going to hurt. More thermoelectric coolers. How to open the wall again. Then finish the last guy before he drill shots you. I lied. This is the last guy. And at the very end, we get our big chest. This got a weapon blueprint. Oh, wait, there's one more. And also MK5 weapons. As I said, the testing stations are better for the guaranteed buggy or ornithopter parts. You leave, and you're out of this PvP area already. Done. There was the chance for maybe PvP, but also the chance for tons of amazing loot. You fly away, and you're PvE'd already again. And if you're then done, you'll just fly out. And that was your first deep desert experience. How did you like it? Now, why are we putting so much effort into aluminium? Well, my spice refinery needs 160 Dure aluminium ingots. The wind turbine would be another 120 Dure aluminium ingots. And in order to go into the deeper deep desert to then farm yourself MK6 material and get plastanium, well, I would really like to have a full suit of Dure aluminium armor as well, which costs like 50, 40, 25, 36 pieces. It's expensive to make. You want a lot of this, and that's why we're preparing this amazing farm. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I could help you and streamline your process. If you're now looking for that ultimate water production with a Fremen Distill, or 10 things that every single player needs to know, check out these 2 videos. There's more in the channel. There are live streams happening almost daily. You're always welcome. Take care.